Making a little video here about oil finishes on baskets. Now every time I post a video I get someone that has some smart ass comment that says, hey, how do your stuff looks like crap, you don't know what you're doing, you need a better saw. I'm not rich, I don't do this for a living, I do this for fun, I give all my stuff away. You know what, if you can do better, prove it to me, otherwise shut up. There'll be a little PayPal thing down here somewhere. You want to make a comment, just donate some money. I'll buy the $2,000, $3,000 saw. We'll all be happy. Until then, this is what I do. Now, this is a basket I'm working on, getting a lot of the finish on it. I use a small brush when I do this. And I use an oil that's inlaid with varnish. A lot of people want to know how I get the technique of getting this finish by using a varnish finish with an oil, be it a Danish oil, linseed oil, different things like tung oil. I can achieve the type of finish they had in the old days, back in the 1800s, 1700s, and you don't even need to buy the finishes. I use Formby's to start with. I add things to this I really don't need to. You can use just Formby's, you put it on very lightly. Like I said, I use a small brush here, and I apply it, I let it sit for a while, and then I go and I make sure there's no excess. It soaks into the wood, so when I put the first layer on, I let it soak in real deep. Wipe off all the excess, you don't want any excess on there. 20 layers of it, let it build up. You can use steel wool in between each layer when it dries. I've done that. I'm not doing that on this one. I found that if you're using a wood like cherry or walnut or poplar, if you use the steel wool, it will build up on the finish or in some of these areas here. It's very hard to get it out. It makes it look dirty. You can use just any kind of paper. You can take a roll of toilet paper and very lightly just crinkle it up, go over it just to soak up the excess. Works just as well. Now, there's also, like I said, there's other finishes you can use. If you don't want to buy it, if you want to go strictly old-fashioned, this is what I use as a base. I add things to it. You can go online. You always wonder how they made them in the old days. What they would do is they would have a formula, like a chemist would. If you don't want to go look for some of these old books that are 100, 150 years old, go on Google, look under books, and you can do a full. You can do this as a preview version, or you can do a full version search. Do the full version search, and go on that. Put in a date range of like 1820 to like 1920. Look for books under that. The full view. You will find books that are totally scanned in. They're over 100 years old, with the formulas in them, based on what your search is. Usually in a PDF or a Adobe file. And play around with it. It's not the easiest thing to do. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of experience in doing this, but it far surpasses the modern polyurethanes and that sort of thing on this kind of stuff. Now, on furniture, I'd stick with polyurethane, but on this type of antique work, you'll get a glass finish that just is phenomenal. It takes about 20 layers, 10 to 20 layers, sometimes more, depending on how dry your wood is, what type it is. If it's a harder wood, it will probably take less. You have to work it a lot more. But on the basis of something like this, your finishes, you want to apply them very easily as if you were painting. Might even get yourself a magnifying glass to really make sure you're getting everywhere on it. That's one of my secrets.